residential tech talk, lighting specialist, art residential tech,
All right, we are back on the Residential Tech Talks podcast and excited to dive into a conversation today. You know, as the home automation space continues to proliferate throughout the consumer and homeowners of the world, it's a great opportunity to talk about the products and how they connect. There's so many different products and services out there, and all consumers want that seamless experience of connectivity. And excited to dive into that today with Mr. Stephen Hoenig, the engineering director at Legrand. Stephen, appreciate you taking the time and jumping into it and being open to a conversation with us today.
Thanks, Rob. Happy to be here.
I say OpenAV Cloud. That's really what we're here to talk about, and excited to dive into that. But before we do, no pun was intended there, first of all. Second of all, I want to give you a chance to introduce yourself and tell us about your background and set yourselves up before this conversation.
Sure thing. Thanks, Rob. Thanks for having me on the show. And my background is that I'm pretty much new to the world of AV. I actually got started many years ago in test and measurement, working for originally Mil-Aero, but made my way through a systems integrator company, and was there for about 13 years, developing integrated systems within the test and measurement world. So creating automated test and measurement solutions. So really from that background, got started with taking disparate components, whether hardware and software, putting them all together for a customer-facing system or set of systems, and that really gives me a lot of perspective and background to the type of work that we're doing here. It's very relevant to what we're doing with the OpenAV Cloud and all of that initiative. So from there, like I said, with a few other stints in between, made my way to Legrand, and I've been here for about 3.5 years, and kind of have a dual role. One of my role is on the product team, so developing connected, intelligent products that can speak out to the world or to local control systems, and also working on an AVD-wide, Legrand AV, AVD-wide kind of a program to really develop a cohesive approach towards our products. Mm-hmm. And those two together are really very relevant to OpenAV Cloud and what we're trying to accomplish here.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I know too, you mentioned just making things work. So it feels like that's always been the goal, right? At whatever the style, whether it's system integrator or custom integrator or home, residential, commercial, like the idea of just making these things a seamless experience for that end user. Nice to know that that's always been the goal, right? And it's not just something new, even though we see all these initiatives kind of launching over the last couple of weeks, months, and years.
For sure. I mean, I think you just have so many different manufacturers of great equipment, great platforms, and the idea of being able to create something that's a cohesion of them all to really give you added value and experiences is, I think, universal. And it's definitely something that we've been trying to target within Legrand. So as you know, Legrand is a conglomerate of a lot of different brands and a lot of different products, and really a perfect kind of ecosystem to start developing the idea of, well, how do we get everything working together so that our customers can have a better experience?
Yeah, no, that's a great point, because I mean, you guys are kind of doing that every day amongst your brands that are there. So you kind of have that to bring to the table to an organization and an initiative like the OpenAV Cloud to, you kind of been through it in essence.
That's right. That's right.
No, that's awesome. So talk about that initiative. So OpenAV Cloud, kind of shift focus a little bit and dive into that a little bit more deeply. As we're sitting here today, it feels like it's only been a few weeks, maybe. May is when it was officially announced.
Yep.
But already, I mean, you look at anyone that goes to the website, we'll have all the information linked below too. So anyone that wants to go learn more about OpenAV Cloud and what's involved, but just running through the names of some of the founding members, I mean, some big deals, big players in this space. You got the Sonys, the Sures, Panasonic, and Legrand, obviously, Excite, BrightSign, founding members there. I think I named them all. So, I mean, that's a pretty awesome list of companies to come together and work towards this. So, a real who's who of the industry, if you will. But talk about what OpenAV Cloud means, and again, I know you kind of set it up a little bit, talk about everyone coming together and having that common goal. But I mean, just the mission behind this initiative and what you guys are hoping to accomplish.
Sure. I mean, I think what you're seeing is, at least within Pro AV, is the growth of cloud connectivity and cloud connection to devices in particular, right? So as that grows, at the same time, we don't really have any standardization. So really the possibility is there that we have divergence, and that's really what spurred this on. You can look at that. I mean, there's direct device connectivity, right? So from control systems, more localized. And then there's the cloud. The cloud is growing. And we all felt that it was really important at this point in time to kind of be proactive and really say, hey, we don't want this to go the wrong way. We want it to go the right way. We want to make sure that as we start developing more and more, I guess, drivers and tools and platforms that are built around this cloud connected access to devices, that we do it in a way that's sustainable and a way that helps the industry develop. So those are really the important considerations behind it. So I guess what you have here is a group of companies, a group of organizations realizing this, said, hey, we have the ability to make an impact and really to kind of be a driving force behind other companies as well. So not trying to create something that is closed. We want to create something that's open, and we want to encourage participation among other industry members, other contributors, and make this really an industry-wide initiative and not just a localized one to the founding members. So we're there to encourage others to join, not to be the ones to kind of set the rules.
No, that's awesome. And I know I mentioned the founding members. There's also, obviously I'm just kind of glancing briefly here at the About Us page that's on there. Like you mentioned, the contributing members, over a dozen, maybe 24 organizations that are already, have added on to and decided to join this effort. So clearly it's speaking to the industry and resonating for sure. As far as the founding member, I don't know if this is something you could necessarily speak to, how that sort of group of companies came together. Do you know anything about the origin there, or why they are the founding members?
I mean, I think in this case, I don't know the full behind the scenes, but really, I think with cloud connectivity, one company in particular, Excite, is one of the founding members, and they do have an amazing cloud platform that we are a part of, and they started seeing this potential to really create a great ecosystem for the entire industry, right? We see that within home automation, you have standards, you have groups that have come together to create this kind of joint vision. Not having that yet within Pro AV was something that we felt was something that we needed to catch up on. So various companies that are kind of engaged in this cloud ecosystem really started coming together, having these conversations, and committing and saying yes, that we're going to be there to help drive it, or at least make our commitment to follow these principles to create a really successful cloud environment.
This might be a chance to let you get a little nerdy with it too. The engineering side of it. When you say get together and commit to it, that's one thing. As far as what does that actually mean? Consumers may be a little, I don't want to say over their heads, but some that, or if they're listening to this, they may be super tuned into this space and knowledgeable on it. So I think it would be cool to hear, what does it actually mean to commit, and what's involved from each company's perspective, or maybe if you could speak to just Legrand's perspective.
I mean, I'll speak from a Legrand perspective. It means that we realize the importance of an open platform. We realize the importance of open APIs, and we realize that in order to help our customers be more successful, we don't want to create closed ecosystems, right? And I'm sure we're all familiar from various industries with companies that are trying to create a closed ecosystem because they're trying to protect their IP or what they think is their competitive advantage. At the end of the day, if I'm an integrator, I'm a specer, I'm a consultant, I'm someone who is responsible for the long-term success of an integration. I don't want to get locked down into closed systems. I don't want to kind of like put all my eggs, I guess, towards one basket. And if that company goes away, or if there's better products available, or different products that offer different features and advantages, right? I mean, I could speak to my own personal focus within
Yeah.
power products for Middle Atlantic products. Uh, there's a lot of great PDU and UPS manufacturers, and for to be able to try to have that competitive advantage by locking someone into my platform, it may be good in the short term, but in the long term, it's not really going to be too successful because if I'm specking out a system, I don't want to be locked into one particular solution because
Right.
as new products or different products come in, I want to know that I can be successful. I don't want to, as an integrator, have to worry about figuring out how to make each individual platform or product work and really have to struggle with complex systems. I want simple, open APIs and basically have the ability to make my life easier. And the more I can have standardization, the more I can have open and interoperable
Mhm.
infrastructure, the better off I'm going to be.
Yeah.
So I mean, I could remember back to my experience as an integrator where I had to spend a week trying to fix some interesting, peculiar interface to a piece of test equipment. And at the end of the day, if something better comes along, I'm going to want to replace it. Or if I have to even
Right.
support it, I have to really kind of be creative. I have to expend more energy than is necessary than to
Yeah.
take something that just plugs in and works. And at the end of the day, that's what many of our customers really want. That's what I want as a consumer. I want just something that works. I want something that works easily. And I want to know that if my device is no longer available, I can easily replace it and I don't have to redo my entire system.
Yeah.
And kind of that's really the advantage. That's really what we're trying to go for, and that's what we're really trying to offer with these. So a commitment is that if I say that Legrand is going to support this and we're going to be an open platform, then our customer knows that they can buy a Legrand product
Hmm.
and that we're going to continue to support these principles. And I think as a consumer or of a good from Legrand or from any other member of the of this group, it gives you the confidence to know that you can invest in this and you're not going to be caught later a year down the line, 2 years down the line, and really be stuck. And we don't want our customers to be stuck. So we think it's better for the industry.
Yeah.
In the long run, and that's kind of what we feel as we're on. We feel that any of the members of this organization of OpenAV are really feeling the same.
No, that's awesome. And I think too, well, one question sort of clarifying, I think for anyone out there, a lot of the terms I think that, I hear you saying are similar to conversations, like interoperable and seamless and open and things like that. Matter is another platform that's out there. And I wanted to see if you could kind of explain, are they similar? Are where do they kind of differentiate from one another? And, because it does sound like a very similar conversation that we're having in terms of, I see a lot of brands out there saying, "Oh, we've added Matter compatibility and things like that." So that, I think the goal of that platform is to have a lot of smart home products that are all talking to one another and work seamlessly together. So it seems relatively similar, but I want to give you the chance too to dive into any of those similarities or differences.
I mean, I think in concept, I mean, it's a great question. In
Yeah,
concept, it is very similar. I think in practice, different in terms of both kind of where we are in the life cycle as well as what our goals may be,
sure.
right? So Matter is for home automation,
Hmm.
and it's successfully been implemented, and the standard is there. And I, I, I think it's really targeted towards being able to not be locked into a specific, let's say, I guess, vendor specific ecosystem in terms of an app. Like I don't want my ring, I don't want to have to use Ring for my Ring. I don't want to have to use
Yeah.
Casa for my Casa. And the list can go on to be able to to be able to work with one single framework or application that lets me access everything
Hmm.
is very useful to me as a home automation owner or integrator or what have you. I think the principles apply to Pro AV as well. And we kind of see ourselves as a little behind and needing to catch up with that. I think at this point, we don't have a standard. Matter is a
Hmm.
standard. This just launched, but
Yeah.
that is our goal. Our goal is to kind of take it down that road, and maybe we'll get to a standard, or maybe we'll get to a set of standards. I don't know that it's going to end up looking like matter because Pro AV is different. I mean, we've got thousands of manufacturers of amazing AV equipment and different models and brands and so forth. And I don't know that we're going to be able to get to the point where we can standardize on a specific standard. But I think we want to understand, well, what is it that we can do or should do within the confines of Pro AV to actually get closer to that point, so that you can have that confidence that it's easy to use, it could just work, and really have that positive experience, and not have to struggle over kind of building that glue that connects these different disparate systems together.
No, I love that for sure. It speaks to, I know, you mentioned it. It's very early on, like early stages of this OpenAV Cloud, platform and what's the work that's being done. Even in just those few weeks, what do you think? It's hard to use like a measuring stick or have some sort of litmus test when it's only been a few weeks. But like, what's been accomplished so far? Like, what are you proud of in terms of what's been done with the OpenAV Cloud and kind of, I know you addressed it there a little bit, but kind of looking a few weeks, months, years down the line, where do you hope to see it go?
I mean, we're really happy to see that there has been engagement beyond the founding members, right? So you noted all the different contributing members and industry partners. So the industry is interested, which is a really positive thing to see, because it shows that everyone really, or I won't say everyone, but more and more with each day, our fellow AV industry members are realizing the importance of getting towards these principles, towards the interoperability, towards the open API, right? And doing the right things to foster the industry, right? We are in the industry, and we want to be the ones to make sure that it's successful and really set the standards and set the path forward. So that's been really encouraging. Growth of new members, that's been encouraging, and really starting to create working groups that are having these conversations and starting to kind of work on these different pathways within the OpenAV platform. So we're getting more engagement. Legrand is getting more engagement, and we've got our landing page, which I think you could see below. Different companies are engaging as well, and we're starting to have good conversations. And I mean, one of the things that can really be enabled by having a standard and by going for these open principles is it's really now opening up so much more opportunity than trying to kind of control the standard itself, right? I could try to be a closed system and think that there's value in there, but the industry is going to go away towards something that's more sustainable, and then they're going to build on top of that. And that's really where we see the value, right? We standardize on the APIs, we standardize on the platform, on how we do these, how we make these connections to the cloud, to our cloud connectivity, to our devices. And once we have that, we can really start forming partnerships and saying, hey, my company, our products can work well with your products. What can we create on top of it? What kind of extra value with experiences can we start providing? And that's where I could speak for Legrand, and I assume the other members have this view as well. That's where the real value comes. That's where the real experiences can really be impactful.
Yeah, and I'm sure, like we've been mentioning, just very early days of this, so that work, it's still a long way to go in terms of seeing some. I don't want to call them formal results, but those types of things that you're describing happening, which gets me excited too in terms of those collaborative efforts across the brands that are part of the group and seeing where things can go. From the integrator perspective, kind of putting that hat on for a minute, the benefits to them, or how can they leverage the message of this organization in talking to clients and things like that. I know early on, but I think they can kind of see where it's heading and get excited about it as well. And I'm sure, I want to give you the chance to speak to how they can leverage this message, in those conversations.
I mean, I think the integrators can connect. It just further enhances their ability to ensure their customers that they're going to get the best available products and systems that the integrators can can provide, right? Because the integrators don't have to say, well, I'm locked into this manufacturer, this vendor, because this is the platform that connects into my my framework, right? The idea is I can take from any one of the many products that exist out there in the AV industry, and I can create the solution that works best for you, and I can maintain it. You can be successful, and you can be successful for many years to come. So I think the message is that they can be more successful in their role, especially as cloud connectivity becomes more and more to the forefront, and give all the advantages that it has to offer. And that could be within just general management and control, or it could be integrating with new, like AI. As AI starts becoming more and more ubiquitous, then we can start leveraging for you, our customers, the best that's available out there in the industry. So it really becomes extremely powerful as an enabler, right? So I'm no longer limited to what I have now, and oh, by the way, we can't really upgrade it because that's going to be a major pain. That's going to take too much time. That's going to cost too much money. The idea here is that we're going to keep supporting you the best that we can as technology improves, and as Legrand and other vendors bring more and more great products and platforms to market.
How about within OpenAV Cloud? Does the integrator have a role today, or will they in the future, in terms of collaborating with you guys to help, whether it's testing some of these, as new things come to market, or you talk about some of the potential collaborations. I'm sure there's likely opportunities for them to get involved.
That's a great question. I think right now we're trying to figure that out, and but we have had inquiries from integrators, so there is interest, and I think in general the industry as a whole are starting to really lean into this and really appreciate the value that can offer. So time will tell. We are early in the process, but we're very enthusiastic, seeing the interest and the commitment that we're already getting. So it'll be very interesting to see how it continues to develop and kind of where it ends. And I would hope that it would be an ongoing thing, and we have continued conversations, continued development, and really trying to continue to make things better and better for the industry.
Oh, that's awesome. And at the risk of dating the episode, because I don't want to do that, I think everything we've been talking about kind of has legs well beyond, what's going to happen in early September. But for those that are listening before CEDIA Expo, which is coming up, are you guys planning anything there? Do you know of any activities that are going to be happening on behalf of OpenAV Cloud?
So Legrand will be out there. We'll be showcasing our participation in OpenAV. In terms of the overall platform, I'm not 100% sure on that, but as the industry goes, but we'll definitely be there, and we'll definitely be showcasing our commitment and some examples if you come by our booth of how we're actually leaning into it and starting to give that offering to cloud connectivity to our devices for our customers.
Awesome. And I know we got, again, links below that if anything gets updated there's sources and places you can check to make sure you stay up to date on that. But Steven, this was awesome. It's a great overview on the platform. I'm excited about it. Excited to see kind of this come together, and all of the just again, amazing brands, from the founding members to those industry partners, and all the contributing members as well. That list continues to grow. It seems like every day. So excited to see more names get added to it, and again, connect with you guys out there in Denver in short order. But this was a lot of fun. I appreciate you taking the time, and I think we'll be catching up again sometime down the line here. It wouldn't surprise me.
Definitely looking forward. Thank you so much for having me, and definitely encourage if anyone out there is listening and wants to learn more, go to our landing page at Legrand, or go to OpenAV, the OpenAV Cloud, and definitely learn more. And if you're interested and want to participate, want to be part of the group, then definitely reach out as well. You can find that information on the OpenAV landing page. So really appreciate you having me here, and
you bet.
Great to be here.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks again. If you enjoyed this episode of the Residential Tech Talks podcast, please subscribe to us on the platform you're listening on. Also, be sure to follow Residential Tech Today on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Residential Tech Talks, lighting specialist, Residential Tech Talks.
Home Automation Device, Home or Smart House.